Question.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time thinking about the aerospace and defense continuum, its entire ecosystem. So if you think about the OEMs and the supply base, the owner operators and the service providers and MRO suppliers, in lots of discussion, the question comes up, who owns the data? As you know, a platform ages over 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Yep.
So what considerations and what thinking are you doing about who owns the data in a complex ecosystem like that?
We are already down that road. We have a number of customers, a number of community members that are working in joint ventures. They have subsidiaries, they have suppliers. It's already coming up, and we do have some existing technology that allows you to mark data as owned by a certain organization. That can change over time. Of course, that would be tracked. But I think it's not really a technology question so much as it is a process question. How do you know who owns the data, right? At what actually triggers the ownership change from, let's say, in an aircraft, from the manufacturer to the operator? Is it on delivery, or is it somehow jointly owned? That's not a question I can answer.
Yeah. And I also interpreted your question slightly differently. All right, think back a little bit to Simon Floyd's discussion yesterday on IoT. Right.
Yeah.
One of the observations here is, we'll pick a fictitious set of companies, but I mean Lockheed Martin designing and building an airplane, the Air Force deploying it, and there's service bureaus that are maintaining it, right? The guy who owns the data is the one making the money, right? And that's a real shift, right? So for Lockheed Martin, do you want to be able to bid on and compete for the maintenance business? If you're the one who has the aircraft configuration, its digital twin and the digital thread of all the information, you can better compete on the maintenance business. So you can see now the OEMs not wanting to release data to the owner-operators. Owner-operators are trying to contractually say, we want that data, right? Because that'll actually now enable them to be more efficient, and we're talking about a lot of money, right? We'll see this also in the automotive space, right? How much information do you release on the car history to the dealers and the third-party maintainers? There's a ton of money in the maintenance business, right? So who owns the data actually?
Yeah.
That's not ours, that's policy, right? But I actually think there are business models emerging through IoT. Who owns the performance data? Forget about the configuration of the vehicle, right? Yeah. Who owns all that performance data, right? That is hugely valuable stuff. Right?
It's an important question in so much as if you're going to leverage the digital thread in some real world way, you've got to resolve that question.
Right. So there's a technical part of that which Aras needs to do, which is to make sure the framework can support all that. We may find that there's organization and political boundaries that will break the thread just because there's a lot of money at stake. Yeah.
Also, new business models are starting to change that. So leasing models and such things. My favorite example is you don't really want to own a refrigerator. You really don't want to own a refrigerator. You want cubic feet of cold, right? And so there are new business models out there that are effectively leasing you a refrigerator. The refrigerator owner or manufacturer can come replace your refrigerator at any time, and all you're doing is paying for the cubic feet of cold per hour. And those kinds of models are changing how the data ownership question is being asked.